for doing the thing, man.
No
Appreciate
worries.
it.
Yeah,
It'd be nice
yeah,
to talk when we're not in a party or a festival or something. There's
yeah, yeah.
banging music in the background. But yeah,
Yeah.
man. How have you been? How's your music journey going nowadays?
Hi, it's good at the moment. I am in the process of trying to figure out or sort out my US visa. So if I can get that
Sick.
done, so I've got my lawyers and stuff on it. If I can get all that done, that means that unlocks a whole new territory, which is I probably where I belong the most. I know my listener demographic is just far more thirsty over in the States. Like I think I got more listens in Denver than I do in all of Australia on my Spotify statistics. So it's just something I've had in mind for a while. So finally being able to take that next leap soon, hopefully with everything goes well. It's a very long process. But yeah, so that's currently me at the moment.
Huge. How far in are you in the process?
So I have an agent, I have lawyers on it. I am probably in I probably have a couple months left or so. I think after submitting it is expected to take about 9 months or so. So we put
Jeez.
everything in at the start of the year. And now we yeah, it should be wrapping up towards the end now.
Huge, man. That's epic.
Thank you.
Have you
Yeah,
played
thank you.
shows in the US before? Oh, that's
No,
gonna
I
be
haven't.
like
I've gone to Central America.
huge.
I was at Eclipse in 2017. Yeah,
Sick. Best
yeah.
week of my life.
Yeah. I saw your set.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick, man.
yeah. I think we were both playing at the Earth Day, whatever
Earth.
the one with
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the blue one was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah,
place is
yeah.
incredible, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like a that was like a resort festival.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah. It was huge. I mean, the festivals in the US are very different to a
yeah,
lot of other places, in my opinion. There is the type of production they put in is very I don't know. The stage feels like a show rather than I don't know, in European festivals the energy is kind of more contained within the dance floor. The dance floor can be like the dance floor and the stage feel like the same thing. And in the US, it feels like you're a show and people are like looking at the stage a lot. And I think in Eclipse, it was a big mishmash of both energies. Like it wasn't like only you looking at the show. There was also so much to do next to the stages and surrounding the stages. So like yeah, it was both the good of both worlds.
yeah, dude, man. That was like a circus non-stop. I couldn't believe like you would leave the stage and you'd walk around, and even the bars and stuff had DJs going on, parties going on everywhere, like water
True.
slides
Yeah, yeah.
and constantly. Like the place never slept. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Have you been to Burning Man?
I haven't. No, have you?
Right. Well, you're probably a
Yeah.
year from being in Burning Man, man. And, next
Yeah,
year we
dude.
talk, and you're,
Yeah. Have you
yeah,
done
man.
it?
Yeah, yeah. I've been to Burning Man that the year after that or something, and it was
Oh, right.
insane. Like if something about like the place doesn't stop, and yeah, it doesn't. No one goes to sleep. It's just insane. Like it is the amount, dude. Yeah. Anyway, it's such a big thing. It's hard to comprehend how many things are happening. The amount of like main stage size stages that are on wheels over there. Like disregard just main stages without wheels, just main stages on wheels. You're like Jesus Christ, who has that amount of money to put into something like this? And then that's one thing that like the the market is there, so like people will follow you when you're there, if you have an epic thing to offer, like you just get people to come with you. Anyway, yeah, Burning Man was absolutely nuts. Have you ever done the Australian one?
No, I haven't. I'm being invited to go along a lot, but I think that every time it comes
True.
around, yeah, it's there's three of them, I think actually. There's like Blazing Swan, Burning Seed, and I can't remember the last one's name.
I didn't even know
Um,
that. I've only heard on Burning Seed.
yes, Blazing Swan's in Western Australia.
Sick.
There's one in Queensland, but I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, the three of them make up like I guess what they call Australia's Burn. But no, I've never done it. I man, like I think in my off time, like it's great. Like I love going to festivals all the time, sometimes. But like when you're not there and then you like have to voluntarily go to one, it's kind of like, oh, is this my kind of holiday right now, or do I just need to go to a beach? Like, so do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah.
I know what you mean. We just talked about it with a mate that like I it's a weird thing when your music when your career path is like partying and being in those events, your downtime is not that. And I can't remember the last time I went to a show for the sake of music, which is very
Dude,
weird as a musician to not do it, to not go and be on the other side. I mean, I am when I go to festivals, I stay because I love it. So I do get
same,
it,
yeah.
but I don't search for things out of this scene because like I would it ends up that I only play, you know what I mean, like I'm putting a little echo chamber on myself when I only stay in those places. So like going to a live show of a surf rock band or whatever, which I never did and I don't know if I would, but maybe I should, you know, I'll to take inspiration from other places. But yeah,
No,
I don't
yeah.
find myself wanting to do it like you said.
I think that that's an extremely interesting point that yeah, like if your downtime is not, it's like the opposite of a lot of people where their downtime is their
Yeah.
party time, where ours is like, yeah, the opposite. It it's like it really, as you said, like it sets you up to like not want to do those kind of things a lot. So like I probably go to the least amount of music shows as well out of all my friends,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
really interesting. And also, I know at one point, and I don't know if you went through this as well, but like when you started writing music, was there a point where, you know, as you're getting better, you start listening to music, you listen to any type of music, and you're subconsciously like you train yourself to be like, all right, that's what's going on here. Like they've used like stowaways, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Like they start
yeah.
doing, and then it gets to a point where you can't stop doing it, so you can't enjoy music anymore.
100%.
And then you have to take like every single person I know that's like got into this seriously. Like I think I don't know how long I took off listening to music. Like not like absolutely taken it off, but enough that I didn't enjoy listening to music for a number of like maybe like 3 years or something, because like every time I listened to it, my brain would just be talking to me, telling me like this is
Analyzing.
what they're doing. Yeah, and it's so, and like you do this thing where you like you listen to a song and then you'll like you'll skip it and you go to the drop so you can figure out what you need to listen to figure out how to analyze what you're doing. And then you do that, you times that by your music listening, you times it by your by your holidays, so you're at festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you set yourself up to listen to this echo chamber, and then just not going to gigs that much. And yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm completely the same. Yeah, I went to like a music show for the first time in like uh I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't remember the last time I bought a ticket to a show that wasn't
Yeah.
within this
Fully.
scene. I actually, my best mate gave me a ticket to this show. It's Kiasmos. I don't know if you've heard of
Sick.
him before. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Sick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I wouldn't have gone if my best mate didn't give it to me. Like, I was just like, I'm happy
Yeah.
staying at
Yeah.
home. So, I feel you, man. It's a really,
Yeah.
really weird thing.
I can't remember what it was. Who came here? I think it was like Sigaros or no, I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah,
One of like my favorites came and I was still like, nah. Like I don't I my wife is like, let's go. Like this is the thing you do all the time. And I'm like, I
yeah.
listen to it
What's
at
wrong
home.
with
I don't
that?
need to go
Like,
to
I
it's
feel
that
yeah.
is I don't know what it is about it, but I guess also for me, have you been to bands before electronic music, where you're like going to shows, to live shows, like bands and stuff like this?
Not on the level that I wish I like. When I was younger, I wished I went to things like
Right.
Linkin Park and stuff like that. I never have done that,
True.
but I have been to like local bands, but not. And I
Right.
do enjoy going out to like to see like local bands, but like not like proper big bands before. I haven't gone to see their
Yeah,
shows.
I'm the same. I
Yeah,
rarely went to to live shows. I think the only live show I've ever been to was like Damian Marley when I was like 18 or something. It's like
yeah,
the only thing I've ever done that wasn't like going partying for to electronic music was that. And I don't really listen to electronic music that much, but I just don't. I have this thing with like live music that it's not actually as good as listening to it at home. Like you, it's hard to make a live show better than the album. because like
Yeah.
everyone, you have all these professional people working on your album. You've curated every second of the experience for it to be the best form of that art. So that album almost always will be better than the live show. Almost always, not all the time. But like, it's hard to make a good live show, in my opinion. Maybe maybe it's just a thing I have in my head.
No,
But
I agree with you. I also think that we're wrong, but I agree with you. Like I know like we are like I feel the same way, especially when you stare at like Ableton 24/7, you're like that yeah, there's no way they're using like soothes and de-essers on their vocals or they're doing this with their vocals. But
yeah.
I know as well, like I'd watch uh like videos of like Linkin Park in Texas or whatever it was, like ages ago, like when they were like watched it now, but like their concerts from like 12 years ago or so. And like the energy and sound from that sounds better than what the album
Right.
sounds like, but I don't know why. That's the thing that I couldn't figure out. I don't know if it's because of look like it's in a stadium. I don't know if it's because like in an open air stadium. I don't know if it's because of the acoustics. There's something like that sounds more roaring. I think drums sound like
Sure.
they crack more when they're live, but
Right.
I mean I don't think it's always true, but I do think it is like there I have seen examples of things that have sounded better live behind my computer because I obviously didn't go because I'm still prejudiced towards the idea, but it's something that I've thought about like as you were saying a lot, and my instinct is
yeah.
that it's not going to be as good, but I think that
I think
my
there's
yeah.
something I have it from like I remember going to the first time I went to like a football game and
Mm.
like we were so up high. Do you know what I mean? Like we were so far away. For me to see the ball, when they were like on the other side of the field, for me to see the freaking ball, man, I couldn't even tell you where it is. Like it was so far away from me. So I gained the experience of the energy, of being in the stadium and everyone singing, and you're like, it's awesome. The experience is awesome.
Yeah.
But if I would stay at home, there's like a zoomed in camera where the ball is, there's replays, there's someone narrating the whole game for me. So that experience is better when I'm at home, but I miss out on the energy of being in a sea of people that shout when there's a good drop and like know all the lyrics to the song or something like this, which you don't get at home. So I think that's what you get from live shows, or like for me at least, that's where I see the benefit. But yeah, not necessarily in the production side. I'm sure people make amazing productions that could be better than the albums. I've been to some. I think I saw OTT live at Red
Oh yeah.
Rocks,
Did
and that
you?
was so good, man. Like it was probably one of the best live shows I've seen.
When
It
did
was
you?
really cool because like that was a few years ago. I can't remember
Oh
now.
right, yeah, cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was like yeah, I don't know. I've never seen him with the full band before.
Mm.
And yeah, it exceeded my expectations, which when you come with your analyzing production brain and instead of like listening to the music, you're just like, oh, that guitar sounds rah rah rah. And that actually, I didn't think like that. I was just impressed over and over again, rather than like judging like a freaking idiot in my head, just like,
It's hard to turn that off though. Like it's once you get it and you work so
yeah,
hard, and it's like some people ask. I remember getting into a conversation about like how much you have to like sacrifice to get into music, and it's like, man, like writing music is the easy part. Like if you like writing music, you will write music. Giving up on being able to enjoy music and like becoming a snob like this, that's one of the hard things about it. Like it's like a byproduct of it. Like
that's a
I
very
actually,
funny
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a like you should have it on the packaging of Ableton or something, like when you have on cigarettes, like it's just
Warning,
a
you may not
little
like music
warning.
after
Yeah,
this.
yeah, dude, you're gonna not enjoy listening to music for like 5 years. Dude,
Yeah,
that's true.
no,
That's huge.
yeah.
Man, how did you start making music? Were you always into electronic music? Did you play guitar before, or how did
Uh,
you come to do this thing?
So I started when I started playing piano as a kid. I learned when I was like probably I think I started when I was like 5 or 6 or so. I played it all throughout high school. I actually bought myself a electric piano recently, which has been great because I haven't been able to touch it
Sick,
since.
dude.
But I was classically trained. I think about grade like in music, A and E B as is the syllabus we have here. I got to about grade 8. I also
Mm,
taught myself guitar in high school. I really wanted to be in a band, but no one like like getting a band together. Like I don't think I ever jammed once with my friends, even though we all play guitar and stuff. Like maybe we did it once. So I was mucking around on GarageBand once on a holiday on my MacBook,
right.
and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. You can do a lot of stuff. And I just kept playing with that for fun for a year. I didn't show anyone anything. And then another friend of mine, I told him, and they was like, oh, you can get like better software. Recommended me FL Studio. And I was like, oh, okay,
Mm,
cool. Like, I don't want to take this seriously, but I'll just like look up how to use it. And back at that time, like, you would download like Silence or something, and then like learn how to sidechain basically in FL Studio. There's like a million tutorials on it, and like make dead mouse chords. And I did that, and I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. But I'm like, I'm still like, I didn't have any intention of like being serious about it. And like, you download like vengeance packs and stuff, and then um, like after a little bit of playing around, like this is pretty fun or so. And then I had this weird workaround because to run FL Studio on my MacBook, like it was only a Windows thing. So I had to like run like a Windows uh
all
operating
right.
system on it. Yeah.
On your Mac. Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just learn Ableton. Sorry, I'll just get on Ableton and see how that goes. But still, I never had the intention of ever being serious about it. And I just kept
How
doing
long
it.
ago was that?
I probably started dabbling around 2012, 2011 to 2012 was probably when I got GarageBand.
True.
Probably did that for a
Right.
year. Probably did FL Studio for a year. Probably started Ableton like 2013 or so. Well,
Sick.
honestly, man, I just found myself doing it every single night. It got to a point, I was like a uni student at the time, and I was like living with my family and like just eating dinner in my room, just like on Ableton all the time.
What an
And
addict.
yeah, yeah, like I was just I got to like it was nuts. Like when I started doing gigs and stuff, like I remember at some points, like I had a part-time job in an office, and I was like, some nights I would just stay up all night till like 6 a.m. and then get like 1 hour sleep and then drive to the office, be so tired all day. Smash like no joke, 15 coffees. I actually got hospitalized once because I had muscle twitches everywhere from drinking so much coffee. I'm not, yeah, like it was, I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like I was just over, I didn't know like how much coffee you weren't supposed to drink. So I was just drinking stuff all day. And for like, yeah, I was getting spasms everywhere because I was just had these the worst habits. And then, yeah, come home, nap, and then do the same thing. I was only working like 2 or 3 days a week. But,
Ah, dude,
but yeah, so
that was hilarious.
I never really intended it to go anywhere. I was just sort of doing it for fun. But it's just so fun. And like once you really get the hang of it, as you know, like
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
when it's fun to go back is when you just don't stop going back. When
yeah.
you're good at it, like when you're making progress, you want to keep more progress, more progress. You're harvesting potential, man. It's the best feeling in the world when you're like you have a thing in your head, and then you can translate it. Like when you get to that point where you have a thing in your head and you can translate it, it's like one of the best feelings in the world. Like after you figure out how to make a beat, how the rhythms work, or how to make a sound in synthesis and stuff like this, that's huge.
It's
Right, man.
it's
We're in a pretty similar trajectory then. I also started at like around that time.
yeah.
And you always did you have like another alias? Did you start with like making glitch hoppy stuff? Did you like I guess glitch hop wasn't really a thing in 2013, was it? Or maybe it just
No,
started? I don't
I
remember.
I was making like cheesy EDM stuff because that's kind of all I knew at the time. It was like what was big around, what was going on. I mean, I think the big artists and stuff that I remember at the time, like Swedish House Mafia and stuff. I knew I wanted to do it, but I actually got to a point where I remember watching a lot of that media those days and what producers are doing, and people like, you got to get like a G bus compressor and stuff on your kick drum and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's the answer to everything. And like all the music in that period of time, I think around 2011, 2012, from my perspective, kind of the mainstream stuff, it kind of went and converged in one direction. Everyone was using the same kind of like claps and the intros and stuff and everything. And I was like, man, I didn't know that there was any other type of electronic music at the time other than just like this EDM type stuff. And I got really bored and I actually stopped doing it for like
True.
maybe like 15 months or so. I was like pretty much considering just getting rid of my keyboard, some of my monitors and stuff. I'm like, I don't think I enjoy it anymore. Like what I was doing was I was just trying to make the same song like 100 times in different ways. And it wasn't until I went to Rainbow Serpent. Have you been to Rainbow? Yeah, yeah.
No, never.
Yeah, that blew me. That was the first time I saw anything outside of the mainstream.
Right.
Yeah, that was in 2015. I saw that and I was like, wow, this is something like that kind of taught me it's like just do this for you and enjoy it for yourself, and then whatever you want to do, like that's all that matters. So I got home and I just started writing and writing and writing after that, and then that's kind of when I really started my project. Is this my previous alias? Sorry, to answer your question, I just used my full name, which was Chamberlain, and then when I got into this, I just dropped my first name. But I yeah, it was then that really spoke to me, and I was just like this like very big lesson around like I crafted my tools a lot, but I didn't know what I wanted to deliver. And then at that point, I was like, all right, I now know what the voice is that I'm trying to express
Yeah.
more, and that completely changed. If it wasn't for that, like I wouldn't have gone on this pathway at all. Like I attribute so
Yeah,
much to
right.
that. Yeah.
That's huge, dude. And your, I think, what was your like your first EP? Was that like Gravitas or like you released on your own or?
So I was a part of this label. I think towards the end of its death. I don't know if you ever remember Adapted Records. Do you know
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was like
yeah. Forget about that.
yeah, yeah. So that was like my first few releases or so was with them, and then I never heard from them again. I think as everyone in the industry
I
might
heard.
know
Yeah,
about.
I
Yeah,
remember it being a thing, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm a
like a
Bill, Mr.
big
Bill called me out. Yeah.
bitter
Um,
bitter ending to that story, no?
yeah, a bit of that, yeah. But yeah, after that, then I met I got acquainted with actually I did some stuff with I had like a remix out on like Westwood, which is like the Funk Hunters label. I've done a couple collabs with them, and then I got in touch with Jesse Brader from Gravitas. I put a lot of
Gravitas.
work out with them. Yeah, he's a great dude and running a
Yeah,
great
they're
community
super
there.
professional as well. The
They are
way
so.
they're releasing was one of the most professional. When I released with them, the journey they take you from, okay, we're working together, this is how this is gonna go, was impressive. It's just like,
100%.
wow, I've never felt so professional in my life.
Yeah, they send you like but this was, I think I first got in touch with them maybe 2017 or so. But like I remember
Mm.
getting like a slide deck from them, and like they'll take you into like into Basecamp,
Yeah,
and like
dude.
they've got this task management stuff, and I was like, oh wow, okay, this is a lot more than what I was doing. And even if I was trying to self-release, it was like sticky notes, like oh make sure you like email a blog or something. It was just
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And you'll just like tape things together. It's like, oh, and this, oh, and I need to, oh, I forgot the. Yeah, which is like we're artists. We don't really, you don't really think of it, unless you think of it as a business and you're learning music business before you get into it, then you'll have these things in your head. But like when you come from the person that's creating, and then you're like, oh, how do I put it out actually? And you're just looking for the easy. You don't even want to think of it. It was very nice to work with them because you didn't have to think of it because they thought of everything for you. Which is yeah, that's awesome. And I had the question thingy here. How do you start a track? That's something that I was wondering. Do you start with an idea? Do you have like do you have a loop? Do you have an idea before you get into Ableton? Do you just like go to Ableton and see what comes out? Do you have I sometimes do like a sound design session, and
Hmm.
then there's like 1/6 sound that I'm like, okay, cool. This is enough for me to get inspired to start a loop now.
I think that is one of the healthiest ways to do it. I don't always do it, and I know that there's this thing that I don't know if you do this, but I do this a lot where I'll make like a track that I'm super proud of, and then what I'll do is I'll try and go in again and do the same thing, and I'll make a worse version of the same thing that I've done and be upset with it. I normally start with drums, but I don't know if I think that's the correct way to go. I think that like I actually have quite a big philosophy on this. I started keeping a journal around times when I wrote tracks and what I did when I started first doing it, and it pretty much always comes back to the fact that what you're trying to do is not or what I'm trying to do at least is not um mechanically move forward to the logical next step. You're looking to be inspired, which obviously is a very abstract idea, but what that means is though that you're hearing something that's telling you the next step instinctively. And I think that a lot of what I find really fun and like what we were talking about when like it comes to you and stuff is like I don't really feel like I have ideas, but I feel like I'm channeling ideas. Like the
Mm,
like it's not. I don't feel like I own my ideas. I feel like I'm there, and I'm just like it's like not literally, but it's kind of like you're a clairvoyant, and these ideas are coming to you, and your job is just to capture it and just put it in. But it's like if you don't capture it in that moment, it's gone. So that's
yeah.
really fun to be doing that, but it just means you have to have like technically be really ready and available to do it and understand how you can do whatever you need to do and everything else and be able to switch between what you're trying to do really fast. So the better you are technically, the more you can channel everything creatively. That being said, how I get started, I think the best thing to do is, as you said, like find sounds that inspire you to move forward. I think that like a lot of the time it starts even before Ableton where like I will try to listen to music that is outside of like because I don't really listen to this kind of music or like it's not something like music's like party music. Like I don't listen to it when I'm not
Yeah.
at a party. So it can be really small things like hearing rhythms and stuff in small places or in songs or in anything like in I don't want to say in nature, but yeah, in nature, man. Like even in conversation stuff, sometimes people speak really interestingly and you're like that rhythm sounds cool. People will be like, yeah, like 24/7 or something like and you'll be like, oh, that sounds like something that would be kind of sick on a 16th grid. Um, but yeah, if you take like I think so, if you can go there, if you can go, I think actually one of the best things to do, and I don't do this enough because also when I first started writing music, and I don't know if you did the same thing where you think you just have to like learn synthesis to a T, so you should make everything. That I don't really go preset surfing enough to just be like, you know what, these keys sound good. Maybe I'll try and write chords and whatever. But that is a really healthy way to go because that takes you to hear something and then move to the next step. And I think it's just like continuing to build those blocks so that you feel like you can instinctively move rather than like be like, all right, this is what I should normally do because this is what this kind of genre or this kind of track normally has. Like it normally runs on a 4/4 grid. Like I don't think that kind of thinking is the way to go. Like you should know how to write a 4/4 beat really fast, but it doesn't mean you should always use it because that's the rules. Like you should just feel it next. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Does that make
No,
sense?
100%, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking
Cool.
my freaking language. It's also, I guess, for the mid-tempo stuff,
Mm.
the glitch hoppy things that you do. It is the "Wah, gah," like it is like sound. Like there's
Yeah,
the
yeah. Very
rhythm
rhythm
can
based.
come.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like because you like through that you can decide of the conversation, like the relationship between each sound you create or you use from a preset or whatever. But like creating within the kick and the snare is what's gonna make the next evolution of the track, whatever it's gonna be, because that sound came out of you at that moment. The answer to that sound should be this, and the way you continue that phrase is with that word or like with that sound. That it's like for the stumpy stuff, I hear it way more. Sometimes with
Mm.
the down tempo stuff, I find it harder to do the same. I guess it depends for me. Even in the down tempo stuff, the beats are very fast. It's always there's always a 16 or a 32s that's like running. So maybe the bass does the same thing. So even then, there's not even as many bass phrases or even mid bass phrases that do the same thing. But for the mid tempo stuff, I totally agree. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you said that you need to find the inspiration for the. Can't remember how you said that, but yeah, that your job is to find the next inspiration, basically, with how you go about it. I do a lot now more than ever. I am like presets. I reuse samples. I have, do you know in Ableton where you can like search the search bar and you're just like
Bro.
bass D, and I just take from sessions that I had like 7 years ago, neuro basses that I've made because God knows when, and I just take them in and I was like, see if something fits. I scrolled through the sausage of sound that I made
Dude,
and it
same
it
man.
fits. And like I don't, yeah, man, that is like compared to like how I used to be, which was just synthesis. Now I'm just like, dude, making a
Oh,
cool beat is what matters.
I feel and, like honestly, that's something that changed my workflow. So like being able to get stuff done really fast. That still sounds like you because there were things that I made, but it's like because you've closed the project, you
Yeah,
can't open
exactly.
it. Whereas like back in the day, like I would try to like if I was trying to make a fill out of like a synth, like not out of drums or whatever, I would like spend like I don't know how long making a really crappy version of some glitch fill sound, and then it would sound terrible, and then I would still use it anyway, and then discard it, and all that effort's lost. And now I'm the same as you. Like I am just like keeping like everything I can. I save on my instrument library in Ableton. I've got like all my effects racks that I've saved, then all my instrument racks that I've saved, and I'll try and save everything after a project and name it whatever the project is, so that I can recall it really fast. And then there's this plugin that I heard of about from there's a neuro based producer, YouTube producer who he mainly just does tutorials and stuff, but he's really good. He's probably one of the best resources out there for learning. If you know of him, Alchemy, have you heard of him?
No,
Oh, dude.
no.
So if you're looking to make neuro stuff, like he is probably, I don't know if I've found a better resource online. It's like ALDKEMY, I think. But
Awesome.
he recommended me this plugin, and I think he speaks about it a lot on YouTube, called Rolling Sampler by Birdie Things. It's $20, and all it does is it records everything like constantly, but like it resets the buffer after like 45 seconds. So hypothetically, just say you're playing around your keyboard over it and you're like, that sounds sick. You can just go into it and then just grab the last section and drag it
True.
into Ableton. So like it's so I stick it on a instrument bus so that whatever comes out of it, like before my sidechain, so whatever I'm doing, whatever I can just grab and chuck it out there. And the other really cool thing lately that I've been using a lot is in Ableton, their last like 12.1 release, they have bounce in place. Have you used that?
No,
Okay,
dude, I
so
don't have 12. I have 11. That's
dude,
so you like Cubase does, but with the press of a button.
I'm not sure what happens in Cubase, but this, if you have a like you've got a MIDI channel and then you select one clip in the MIDI channel, you press Command B or Control B, and instead of freezing and rendering the whole thing, it just takes that one thing and copies it into a new channel in audio, and you've got the old channel left as MIDI, and it'll just turn off that. It'll just deactivate the clip that you turned into audio.
Yeah,
So if you're
that's
just like, I
huge.
want to make, yeah, it's huge, man. Like if you just want to make variations of the same thing, heaps and spit a bunch of stuff out. Like in terms of sound design, it is so fast now and getting
Yeah, that
audio.
saves you like so many clicks.
Dude, oh
Because
no, and watching the
you'll
thing
have
like
to like
render
freeze the whole
across.
thing and resample. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Dude, yeah. So between those two things, I would say in terms of resampling now, like Birdie Things, but rolling sample Birdie Things and the new bounce in place, it's so fast, man. It's so fast.
True. What do you synthesize on? What's your go-to?
I've used a lot of things, but I think that my favorite now, like it's always been Serum. Like it's
Yeah.
so like that guy. I remember watching. Have you ever watched the you know the music channel Excellent, like XLNT? Have you seen them?
No, I don't think so.
They like focus more on dubstep and stuff, but they talk a lot about this stuff. They're talking about Steve Duda who made Serum,
Hmm.
and man, like synthesis was hard before then. Like it was grueling. Like, when you're using like silence or massive, like you would see what the LFO is doing, but you had to like read like Wikipedia pages and you had to like go, oh, that's what a low like LFO does. Like I don't even know if people if you're new to the game now, I think there's a genuine possibility that you might not know what LFO stands for or why it's called whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like it,
yeah,
like because it's because well, I mean back when when I started with this, like it made sense that you had an oscillator run by another oscillator that does whatever it's doing. Whereas now, like I don't know, it's just like some sort of modulating parameter.
yeah.
That completely changed the game. Like music sounds different because that exists. Um, in terms of like we like if you listen to stuff like I don't know 2012, 2013, like the extent of sound design was like modern talking in massive was like a really big
Yeah,
thing at the time.
dude.
And like that was as far as it went. And then like Serum came out, and now you just have insane stuff all over the place everywhere. And because of that, like Serum was there so that others could run. So you've got things like I don't know, Phase Plan. I use like Phase Plan a bit, but not as much. I like it's awesome, but I find Serum much more fun to use and fast to use. I've used things like pigments and other things. I do. Oh, sorry, my phone is talking to me. I do a lot of processing with. like in Ableton, like post processing stuff as well. But
Or
probably
from
the
Ableton stock plugins?
yeah, there's just so much you can do with it. You just stack a bunch of OTTs on, and I don't know. If something sounds bad, you just
Yeah,
add more OTT, and it sort of works. I
yeah, just chuck a limiter on it and make
yeah,
sure it
literally.
doesn't distort. Yeah.
Pretty much. I would say though, in terms of post processing, probably just as powerful as my sound design. I like as powerful as Theorem is. My other sound design tool that I use a lot is Infiltrator by Devious Machines, which is just a multi effects plugin, but it's
What
kind
is
of
it?
like
Can you say it again?
it's called Infiltrator 2 by Devious
Oh,
Machines.
Infiltrator. Yeah, yeah,
Dude, like, and
yeah.
that's when I first got it, I was like, oh, this is all right, but it's like I've seen multi effects plugins before. Like you're sort of just making almost beat mashed grids or whatever whatever they're called. But like once
Yeah, yeah,
I've harnessed like using the filters and stuff with it, and because you can just stack up and randomize filters really fast, you can like not tone, band parts, everything, OTT, it all. You can start making some really crazy stuff. Like what used to take like to make like Neuro, like there was like I feel like in like 2015, the process was like you start off with like sine wave, and then you like put a bunch of filters, and then like limit it and over compress it, and then like render out, and you got to keep doing it over and over. Like you just do this with one plugin within like 60 seconds. You just like go random, 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 random in terms of filter
totally, dude.
movement, and then just OTT at the end, and then you're good, and that's like the whole thing done, and it saves you 15 minutes of drawing little things everywhere.
Yeah,
So
yeah, totally. I remember, like, I remember how big the Ableton Rex used to be to make a neuro sound and to make it like go like just for all the LFOs to affect everything else. So it'd be like complex enough for it to be unique, and
100%.
everything should like be metered and yeah. And now you just yeah. Did you use Morph EQ of
I
minimal
did,
audio?
yeah, I did, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got it the other day. I mean, a few months ago now. But the Morphic Q and the Fuse compressor, and you just play with the presets, and you make like something comparatively basic in Serum. You know, it just sounds like a solid bass. And you put and you play with presets, and you just have. I can just resample, and they all sound good. Like it's just you don't need to do a lot. A lot of people thought of the hard work for you, and in a way, after you've done the sound design sessions, it's up to your creative ideas of like how you make the picture clear. What it is that you build. The storytelling comes
Mm.
after, which I think it's one of the now that sound design became so easy, storytelling, which is very hard to give someone, right? You can write the formula, which is that's good. The formula works. That's why we do it. But for you to have a creative storytelling within your track, that's hard to mimic or that's hard to teach. There's no plugin that gives you that. And I think the art form will fall on that now, like because everything else became so automated.
Mm.
And it's still something about the musicality and the storytelling that now has to have an emphasis because everything else it can be done comparatively easy now.
I completely agree with you. It's honestly something I thought about a long time ago, and I mean, it's the musicianship around it. Like we're making music. Like the
Mm,
moment you make formulaic music, you make formulaic music. Like
yeah.
it's very apparent that like, and this is something like I've told people as well. Like don't be stuck like programming your music. Like write it from your heart, or like figure out what it is that you want to say. When you're writing a track just to complete a track, that's where it can start to get really formulaic. And like I think that this is something that comes from just doing it from hours and hours and hours and hours. And it's not um like having your own voice and what you want to say develops from a whole bunch of decision makings that you've repeatedly done over and over and over again, so you can understand what you're actually trying to say from yourself and what also sounds unique and parallel to you. Because it's not presets and stuff. Like it's none of that. Like the moment a preset's released or whatever, like the moment like that's out, like your secret's out. You can't just have like one sound and that's what makes you like one preset sound that makes you sound like what
Yeah.
you are. It's the vibe and the storytelling and everything else that comes with it. I see a lot of I think in the producer community, or at least when people start getting into like production stuff, I think there's about three aspects. of mastery, which is like there's like navigating your digital audio workshop. Then there's also the production side of things, and I'd say like mixing and mixing, production, and sound design, and everything else. The last one is like composition, musicianship, and stuff. And I think a lot of
Mm.
people get stuck in the second one because they're like, if I just learn how to mix better or whatever, like this will make my song
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
what I'm missing.
yeah, that's what I'm missing. And
Yeah.
then, but actually, like, at the end of the day, like, sometimes you got to look at your own song and be like, "Ah, this actually is a piece of shit. Like, I need to let this go. Like, there's nothing I can do about this. Like, I can't, and there's no mixing that's going to make this sound like this just sounds boring. And it's like,
Yeah.
in high school, when you write like an essay, you can like write a perfect essay that is boring to read. And if it's boring to read, it's boring to read. And that's what like writing formulaic music can be. So, I think it really comes back to like the musicianship of it. I think the healthiest things to do is what that's why I like playing the piano so much. It's like keeping that side of me alive so I can see um yeah, more around what the storytelling is because the technical side, like, we've done it to death and like there's like a point of
Fully.
diminishing returns when like you're just like we're changing artifacts that like probably almost no one can hear anymore. Like it's great to get to a certain level, but then
Yeah, yeah.
afterwards it's like it kind of really doesn't matter. Like when
It
you
doesn't
first get
matter.
into mixing, like you're like doing the most surgical EQ things, and then you're just like, oh, whatever, just one fat dip, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's one of, I remember seeing like a mixing tutorial, and one of the big name, I can't remember the dude that from has like waves, all the waves tutorials. And one of the thing he talked about how he's just like you don't not want to do those surgical EQ things. You want to like that whole section goes down. I remember being so happy that I'm like
Mm.
I'm gonna, even if he's wrong, I'm just gonna do this from now on. And just yeah, all of that just a bit down. Cool. That's I guess that's what I need to do. Obviously, I learned the hard lesson after that you need the sound to be good before you do stuff like this. But
That's the
yeah,
thing.
man.
Yeah, that's the thing. You need it to be good before you get in because it's like there's no mixing that's gonna make it good. Like, and I consider mixing and sound design to be very different. Where like mixing, you're doing like small things to make everything
Yeah,
fit, and sound design, you can
yeah.
go wild and do whatever you want, but you use the same tools, so they get confused to be the one thing sometimes. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah,
Like I think that's
100%. Yeah.
when you're starting, it's like, oh, like you're looking at an EQ and you see people do all this wild stuff with EQs. That's not really mixing. That's more a sound design thing. Mixing is just like making sure that works well with everything else. And what I
Yeah.
would normally do is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
have like a wild EQ going on or something to make, like neuro or something, for example. And then the actual mixing EQ is just like a low part, like just has like a high pass filter,
Yeah.
like 20 hertz or something. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And that's the mix down done.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's pretty much what I do. I'm just like going through every channel being like, all right, does that have like an EQ just cutting whatever I don't need? And that's like, all right, we'll call it a day.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I wish more people would do it like this. And like if you get to the point where that's you feel comfortable with decisions like that, it's one of the best place to be. Just for your sake of continuing on and releasing from a song. And if you've done a mixdown thing and it still doesn't sound good, just make another fucking tune. It's already the nicest thing about this is to make another fucking tune. Like it's not,
Exactly.
instead of thinking that the mixdown is gonna be the thing that's gonna make it pop differently. But I am the this is me in a nutshell for a lot of years, and a few years ago I changed my way around it, and it freed so much, man, for me to just like, dude, it's fine, I'm just gonna put it out, and I'm just putting just releasing, man. And I don't think my things are perfect. I don't think they're even like, some of them are not even like 90% close to what I have in my head, but I'm not gonna go back, and I know that going back and changing it would make me not finishing it or make me just suffer for another. I'm just gonna sit there, and it's gonna be another thing on my to-do list, and it's gonna be annoying. And yeah, that's for me. That's something that like yeah really freed me into just continue to be creative rather than trying to suffer through a mixdown session that I don't know if I'm actually doing the right thing or not.
And I'll,
Um,
I'll say to your point as well, like in terms of like seeking perfection, like there's that saying like perfect is the enemy of good, and good is all we need. Like beyond that, it
I like
doesn't.
that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it's
That's
yeah, man. It's like it's. I wish I listened to that more, but it's true. Like, and
yeah.
the other thing I think as well is like when it comes to mixing and everything else, like I remember hearing once this thing that kind of stuck with me. It's like I know that we don't always sit with instruments, like we're using like digital instruments, but you're supposed to you're supposed to record like you're supposed to record like you don't get a chance to mix, and mix like you don't get a chance to master. And then so
I
basically like
like that.
after I've started like putting stuff together, like without any real mixing done, it kind of sounds 99% there. I'm like, okay, everything sweet. Like because I've selected the right sounds, everything's
Yeah.
sort of fitting. I'm not relying like on like the composition's doing what it needs to do rather than me thinking like, well, it's boring now, but if I mix it, it'll make it good because it's not true. There's
Yeah.
only so much
I do
composition you can
find
do.
I do find myself in the end, after like I finish the track, or at least I made it from the intro to the outro. I take a break for a few days and I come back and I make a lot of tweaks to sound design stuff, or like
Hmm.
to like some crazy EQ things, just because now that I hear it with fresh ears, I'm like, oh, that synth is not dark enough for me. Like I wanted to actually be a bit more like low endy, and like I because you hear it a lot when you're in the process, I find that I make a lot of mistakes along the way, because I'm like racing through creativity. I was like, oh, another idea, another idea, another idea, and then when I come back to it, if I let it rest and I come back to it, I still, there's like at least 1 or 2 sessions where I almost have to do that. I have to go back and change. I think it's I'm a bit weird on that level,
No,
because the
I would say,
way my sound
yeah.
design works. But yeah, you're the same.
Oh, I think it's very, very, very normal. I think like actually to your point as well, the other thing I was gonna say is that when you're doing creative stuff, and I think this is why it's good to get really good technically but not get stuck in it, is because when you're doing this stuff, your creative side and your technical side burns from the same candle. So you can always rely on the technical side later because you know it like logically, like this doesn't sound good, I need to make this low end more, blah 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 blah. But you can't
Yeah,
always grab from the creative side. So harnessing that and doing that other stuff later because it's just easier, second nature is really, 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 really important. The faster you can do stuff technically and be like, that doesn't sound right, I'll do this or I'll discard it and I'll look at it later. Way better. And being able to do that in another session actually is even healthier so that you can just like vomit out all the ideas and capture them while the tide's high kind of thing. So
dude, hundred
yeah.
percent. That is like exactly. That's a very good way of saying it. I didn't hear this burning from the same candle thing before. But yeah, I'm totally there, man. I wanna, before I wrap up, the what's your vision for the project? Do you envision yourself? Are you going for, I'm gonna make music my full-time career thing?
I
Well, are you gonna do like a, in 5 years? Do we have like a Red Rock? You know?
so like I think I do want to go full time with this. I think I actually love my day job. So I actually don't know if I could let it go. But
What do you do, by the way?
I work as a service and product designer. I actually work in tech. So I do a lot of stuff around like basically just like customer strategy stuff, a lot of like drawing flow charts and talking to
Sick.
people and just figuring out what we're doing next kind of thing. I really, really enjoy I really, really enjoy it's actually problem solving at its core, and I really, really, really enjoy it. Um, but for me, like my goal was always with music. Like I just like writing music a lot. So even if I decided I'd quit music, probably the first thing I'd do is write music after I quit writing music. Like
I
it's like
agree.
I'll play like video games like 20 minutes. Like I don't know if this is actually what I'll be wanting to do right now. I think like I'm awake enough. I think I want to be stimulated on that like writing music level.
Mm.
Realistically though, like getting to the US will be the next step that I'm looking for. If all things go well with everything like that, then my next thing would be able to is properly touring the US and seeing where that takes me. That's something that I haven't obviously I haven't seen yet because I haven't done that properly. So I don't know what in like what comes with that. So I think for me that first baby step and finally doing that will be a lot of like that'll be a that'll be a huge release and like milestone for me. And then I can assess from there what I want to do. But yeah, that's been a goal for like a long time, like since I started doing gigs in Australia. So I think like yeah, short answer is I'll take it from there and see from there. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Like I think I do. I think I do want to write music all the time, but I also don't know how healthy that might be for me because I also do like speaking to people, and it is a very weirdly enough a very like I'm sure you find this like it's like so antisocial and so social and there's no in between. It's like you're at parties and you meet like a
Well,
thousand people or you're at home by yourself all the time staring at a screen, eating dinner in front of a computer. Like there's
yeah,
no
dude.
middle ground. So it's really, really, really weird. But
Yeah.
I do like it. It just is odd. Like I think we can all
Yeah.
become like odd people from it.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Yeah, we should have like a like co-working spaces,
Yeah,
like a studio with a few studios, and everyone have the break at the same time, and you can go and see your friend's screen and what did you work on? What did you, have like a little co-working space for musicians. There'll be a lot of acoustic treatment for
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
to
That'd
not
be cool.
have, but that could be cool. Dude, I'm
Cool.
so excited for you. Like the
Thank you.
US thing. I mean, the US is gonna fucking love you. Like Canada,
Thank
like
you.
Shambhala set. Like I can see
Yeah.
you like fucking rocking a Shambhala set and like all these things. Like it's gonna be, yeah, right up your alley, man. Colorful and banging.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for the chat.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me,
Hope we
man.
see you.
Yeah.
When are we gonna see you? Are you doing Earth Freak or Dragon or
Yeah, I
something?
am. I am. Sorry. Yeah.
Sick.
What are you doing? Which ones are you doing this
I do
year?
it. I'm doing both. I'm doing both of them.
What was the second one you
That's
said?
what I'm doing. The Dragon and Earth Freak.
I'm not doing Dragon this year. I'm doing Earthfreak. Yeah, cool. I'll still Earthfreak,
Nice.
man. Cool.
Nice.
Cool,
Epic.
man. Awesome. Well, thank you so much
Cool,
for having
man.
me.
Thank you for
Cool.
that. Let's close
Yeah.
the video. How do you do this? Nice.
Cool.
Cool. I'll close it at that. Now it's gonna